We build a sense of community between our students, but also our teachers. And one of the things that's a big difference with an Envision school is those same deeper learning skills are really valued by our teachers, especially collaboration. You're going to need to build time into the school day and the school year for teachers to be able to come together as designers to manage the curriculum in order to give critical feedback to each other's work and to calibrate around student work.
We're really thinking big picture, and so in the beginning of the year we have what we call the sticky notes task for the teachers to do before we start. So everybody gets their sticky notes and they write down for their subject what the themes are, what the topics that we want to cover over the course of the year, what projects we want to do, all of that stuff. And then we sit back and sort of stare at it and go, where are the connections?
We divide it up between semester 1 and semester 2, and just to see where those projects are going to be happening over time. And that kind of gets us all in a room to think about how work will be correlating between different classes.
It's all the academic teachers plus the learning specialists, and part of the process is that things are moving around. So it's sort of, as one teacher is done mapping out what their initial ideas for the year, things go up onto the board, and then as we start seeing connections, things get moved around, and then we try to figure out, well, can I actually switch this third quarter unit into the first quarter, and would there be things that I'd have to teach before that, and how is this all going to work? This year, as we were doing it, one of the connections that we saw was a collaboration between science and government in terms of students looking at the ocean systems, and then also in my class looking at government action. And so we tried to find this link with the BP oil spill. How could students actually address this, looking at the government and looking at the environmental impact on the oceans? And it also happened that in their literature class, they were going to be at some point in the year working on rhetorical devices and speech writing. And so we worked things together so that they could actually do an exhibition addressing the Gulf oil spill, having students knowing the content from both of our classes, but then having the skill of speech writing from their literature class all aligned together for this exhibition.
We have specific time where we have collaborative time with other teachers within our grade level to be able to kind of work together, where lead teachers kind of figure out what the major thing on the plate is at that point. So during the time when there was exhibition, the major thing on our plate was trying to hammer that out.
Yeah, we really had to collaborate a lot, just in terms of timing, for one, to really see where we were in relation to getting kids ready to do a final project. That alone involved a lot of, setting benchmarks.
That was a really nice fluid way to be able to teach something very deeply. It was nice to be able to just pop over to his class and talk about how his class went, and then it's me being able to alter or shift something because Ben was like, oh, this one went really well. I was like, okay, well maybe I'll just go off of that and take that too.
Or even just for him to know that that's what I'm teaching, it might have been something that he already taught. And then he could sort of add a plug, remember, this is what you learned in Ben's class. You talked about the EPA. This is the dispersants that he talked about, so having that sort of common language and sort of keying each other into where kids are, I think was really helpful throughout the process. And then, we did have a number of fairly, more regular check-ins where we'd actually sit down for an hour or two and actually, okay, what do we actually want the kids to do here, and how are they going to get those skills from my class, from his class, and also from their literature class.
We tend to think of the schooling system as something that is compartmentalized into biology or sciences and history and English, but really, when we get out into the real world, all these things are kind of connected.
I think the strength and success of project-based learning can often be seen through our students. Their day can become compartmentalized, and during the oil spill unit, it felt like there was more coherence to their day. And I think for them, that made things just in general less stressful, and it added to their understanding of what we were doing. They would say to us just openly, oh, I get it. We're coming at this from so many different angles that I get it now.